Hello, I'm the art teacher, and I'd like to teach you another lesson. Oh, before we get started, some people say they want to get a better look at me. Okay, there I am. Alrighty, well, I'm going to do the 5th grade lesson today. It's going to be a name kaleidoscope. Pretty cool. Looking at this, can you see the name? Here's the name. J-O-N-A-H. Jonah. I'm going to show you how I did this particular art lesson. Now, before I get to that, I always like to go to, or try to, my principles of design and my elements of art. My elements of art here, if you can guess, you can pause right now and take the game of guessing what elements of art. Okay, I see shapes, I see color, I do see some lines, I do not see value, I do not see form, I do not see texture, and space is an iffy with this. So I'm going to go with, since lines I do see but they're not the major part of this artwork, I'm going to go with shape and color. What am I making? Right off the top, there is contrast in here, and there is an emphasis. The thing that stands out to me is almost this star X thing, but that's not the most important part here. There is pattern, but not so much rhythm or unity. I guess you could say there's unity there, but what I'm really going for is balance. Balance. When one side has an equal weight to the other. And in this case, it's symmetrical, but kind of like in an odd way. For instance, if you turned it this way, this side is the same as this. So let's get to it. I'm going to show you how you can do your own name kaleidoscope. By the way, I haven't told you what a kaleidoscope is. It's a good thing to look up. Google it. Okay. Right now I don't have time to go into it because I can only go for so long. Alright, when you get your paper like this, it's a square piece of paper, you turn it to be like a diamond. You need to fold it up and make sure it is as even as possible. Now when you fold, make sure you go from the bottom to the top. One hand holds the top and the other hand with this finger, boink, goes straight down like this and then off to the side. If your paper is not 100% square, not to worry. Open this up, turn it once, do the same thing again. May take a little practice. Go to the center, crease it, go back to the center, crease it again, open it up, and now you have 4 triangles. Okay, now to do this part, you need to learn how to do some block lettering, and that's a different lesson altogether. So if you don't know how to do block lettering, you may want to practice that first. Now I'm going to zoom in a little bit so you can see how I'm going to do my block lettering. And I'm going to draw very, very lightly this little line here. And you don't even actually have to draw that line, really. I just draw it to kind of keep my head. Now you see how lightly I held my pencil? So the line there is very, very, very light because you're going to erase that later on. Now the name Jonah has 5 letters. J-O-N-A-H. Since N is the middle letter, that's actually going to be the biggest one. So I'm going to kind of mark this space out here. And then the J-O-N-A-H. So this I have to divide in half. I'm going to put a little line here. And this I'll divide in half. This may take some practice. If your name has 6 letters, you will have to divide it up into 6 spaces evenly. And again, that may take practice. And if your name has, let's say if it was William, W-I-L-L-I-A-M, William, that's 7. And some people might have more or less. So that's the practice part. You have to practice doing this part, matching, dividing it up equally. And there's no magic way. You can do it with a ruler if you want, But I think just by practicing and making mistakes are okay in art. It's how you learn. Okay, so I'm going to do the letter N, and I'm actually going to start right a little bit beyond that line. Draw a straight line here, and a straight line down going this way. And if you'll notice, my arm actually, my whole arm moves. I don't rest my arm and try to draw from my wrist. Okay, so the next one is going to be up here. This is going to be one side of the N. This will be the other side of the N. And then I'm going to connect them. That means from this top one here, I'm going to draw it down to this one. Now if you want to use a ruler, you can. You can try to eyeball it. I think I'm just going to do it with a ruler. I'm going to go from this point here to the far side. And you know what? Even if you don't get it right, it's perfectly okay. See how I did that? Now I'm going to erase a lot of these lines once you see how all this gets played out. That's the N. Now the O is over here. O is a little tricky on a slant. So I'm going to do the bottom part first. I'm going to come down this way, curve, curve up. When it goes up, I'm going to curve it. But I'm going to leave this curve off, because that's where the curve would actually be. I'm just going to leave it like it is. And of course, you're going to do another circle in the center to make it a circle. The letter O. Now for J, I'm going with this slant, and that's what really throws a lot of people off when it's slanted. So you have to kind of picture it going straight. Again, practice, practice, practice. I'm drawing that line here, that line. These are the other ends of the bar that tops the J. See? And then I'm going to start here with the J coming down, curves, goes back up, crosses back, and back up again. There's the letter J. Now let's go over here. J-O-N-A. Now you can do the A where it curves or where it just goes to a point. I'm going to do mine as a point. I'm going to find the middle part here. I can put my ruler there. Come down here. If you're good with rulers, it's a really good way to doing it. And I'm going to do a little triangle here. And then I'm going to do a trapezoid, if you know what a trapezoid is. A lot of math terms in this. There's my A. Now for the H, I just come straight down here, making two bars or strips. That's one. That's two. And then I'm going to connect them. There's the H. Now, there's a lot of lines I need to erase. But before I erase them, I'm going to get a black crayon and go back over all of these. So I just go really hard. And you have to go hard. You really have to press down. Oh, I made a mistake. Right there. I should not have done that. I did not want to do that. Well, I made it. So I'm going to stick with it. If you make a mistake, don't tell anybody, and everybody will think that it's part of your plan. Now, since I made that mistake because I didn't do any erasing, it would probably be a good idea if I do some erasing now. So I'm going to erase the lines that don't belong. There we go. That one's fine, that one's fine. And this H, I need to do it this way. And if you accidentally erase some of the lines that you really wanted to keep, you just go back over them. Okay, now let me go to this one. And you'll notice I'm leaving this blank. There's a reason for that. Okay, and this one here, doing the N. Black crayons are really, really good. I love black crayons. I use them for so many things. There we go. J-O-N, now for the A. Some of you have even done something like this before. Now, as far as coloring goes, you could actually use watercolor, you could use markers, you could use coloring sticks, you could use oil pastels. Oil pastels and watercolors are kind of messy, so you got to be careful. But with this particular thing, you do need a black crayon. Here's why. I've got the name Jonah. I've got the tops of these letters opened, except the A didn't go all the way up. I actually could have made the A go more like that, but I didn't. So now I'm going to fold this in half. Now I'm going to get something that is smooth. Now I can use a pen cap to rub this, like this. I could use a wooden handle. This is a palette knife. I could use that. That works really well. I could use a guitar slide for electric guitar. This is my dad's, made out of solid brass. I could do that. You could use handles on a scissors as long as it rubs across the paper smoothly. So there's lots of things you can use to do that. Like even this ruler. Oh, the ruler works pretty good. It doesn't bind up or anything. So let me see, I'm going to try the ruler. Because that's what I have for you guys, for students. So, and I can see the name there. Matter of fact, it might be better if I turn it over so I don't see the name so well. Ooh. Let's see here. And I'm rubbing wherever my name is. The name that I want to do it. And some of you can already guess what's going to happen. I start to see a ghost image here. And it can, right now I can tell where I have not done it, where I have done it that well. And right now that's enough for me to do. So let me see if I can trace it. Just like this. Now I still have pencil marks here, not to worry, because once you start coloring, you're going to color right over those. Because I drew lightly. If you draw heavy, that's going to be a problem. You may want to erase them. Okay, and all the way down here. And you see how these are connected now? Right there and right there. There we go. Booyah. Almost got this side done. And take your time. Be patient. If you rush it, it's just not going to turn out as good. So be patient. It's not a race. And here's where I messed up, but I'm going to keep that mess up. And even with that, it looks like it's slanted a little bit too much. Perfectly okay. If you don't tell people that you messed up, they're not going to know. Of course, I'm telling you guys. So all of you out there, don't tell anybody I messed up, okay? Great. Now that I have this, I can fold this part. Let me back it up a little bit here. See? There's Jonah, and there it is backwards. Now I get to fold the whole, this top part over, and I can take my tools again, whether it be the ruler. Now, if I hold my ruler down flatter like this, I think it works better. Here, it digs into the paper too much, so you have to kind of experiment. I've never really used this. Let me see how this works. These are kind of expensive, so I can't get these from my classes. But anything that's hard, that is smooth, won't catch the paper. Let's see. I'm going to try this pen. That one didn't do as well. I was actually thinking it would, but if I'm using a pen cap, now you got to hold the paper, because if you don't, it's going to squish or scooch the paper over a little bit. Like that word scooch. Some of you may not know what that word means. It's kind of like move it over a little bit. Let's see if this pen cap works. I don't think all pen caps work though. Alrighty. I think I can do this. I think I can. Let's see. If I do this here, 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 up, over, around, and then there, there. I'm noticing some extra black marks somewhere around here. I'm not sure why, but it's going to add to the look, I think. And there is no perfect picture, by the way. So if you don't get it right, it's perfectly okay. Again, don't tell anybody what you're doing, what your mess ups are, and no one will be the wiser. And you don't even have to be super technical. Of course, the more careful you are, the better your picture is going to look. Whoops. I gotta look back here. Here. Yep. There was a little indentation. I was wondering if I got that. And sometimes I have to go back to the original to see how that worked. There we go. Now I'm on the home stretch here. The last name. Let me see how long it's been here. Oh, it's been a little too long. 16 minutes. Yikes. Sorry. Sorry this is so long. Almost done. Obviously, I'm not going to color this one in for you. Just to show you how it's done. That's all. And then you get to color yours in. And I hope you can do this at home and show me sometime. And now for the J. I hope this is short enough for YouTube to put it up there. But there it is. That's my Jonah. And you can see here's where my mistake was. Right there. But everything else. And once you color it in, it's going to be fabulous. Be awesome. So there you have it. Good luck with it. And I'll see you all later.